You walk into someone's house for the first time. No dishes in the sink. No pile of things on the chair. Surface is clear. Everything in its place. And, without meaning to, you immediately form an opinion about that person. Not just about their house, about their life. About their mind. About how in control they are. Now walk into the opposite house. 3 coffee mugs on the counter. A pile of unopened mail on the table. A drawer that hasn't closed properly since 2021. Same person. Same job. Same life. Completely different impression. Here's the part nobody talks about. Both of those impressions are mostly correct. Because your home isn't just where you live, it's the loudest conversation you have with yourself. Every single day. And today, we're going to listen to what it's actually saying. If you're new here, welcome to Stickology World, where life makes more sense in stick figure. Hit subscribe right now. You'll want to stay for this one. The hidden cost of clutter. Before we talk about clean houses, let's talk about what clutter actually does to a person. Because most people think clutter is just an aesthetic problem. It's not. Imagine walking into your kitchen in the morning. 3 mugs from yesterday, 2 unopened bills, a bag you still haven't unpacked from the weekend, laundry on the chair. Before you've had a single sip of coffee, your brain has already registered every single one of those things. Not consciously, but it's there. Every unfinished object in your space is asking your brain a quiet question. Are you going to deal with me today? What about me? And me? Researchers at Princeton University found that visual clutter literally competes for your brain's attention. Even when you're trying to focus on something completely different, your home is not a neutral background. It is an active participant in your mental state. So, what does a clean space actually do? And why do some people seem to maintain it so effortlessly, while others try and somehow always end up back at the pile? The answer has almost nothing to do with discipline. Your brain never stops looking. Here's something that will change how you see a clean room forever. A clean kitchen isn't just organized. It negotiates with your future self. Think about that. Researchers at Cornell University ran a simple experiment. 2 groups of people, same hunger level. One group sat in a clean, organized kitchen. The other sat in a cluttered, chaotic kitchen. Then they offered both groups a choice: apple or cookies. The people in the clean kitchen chose the apple almost twice as often. Not because they had more willpower, because their environment had already made the decision before they did. A clean space sends a signal. Order is the standard here. Make the ordered choice. Your home is making decisions for you right now. The only question is, which decisions? But here's where it gets personal. Because it's not just about kitchens and cookies. It's about what cleaning does to a person's body. And the numbers surprised even the researchers. Why cleaning feels like relief. Picture 2 people coming home from the exact same stressful day. Same job, same commute, same amount of things that went wrong. One walks into a clean house. Bag on the hook, shoes off. Quiet, order, space. Their nervous system begins to settle almost immediately. The other walks into a space that's telling their brain, you are not done yet. There is still work here. You cannot rest. Research found that people who described their homes as cluttered had significantly higher levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, throughout the entire day. Not just at home, all day. Because they knew what they were going home to. But the people with clean, organized homes, their home was doing something invisible but powerful every single evening. It was telling their nervous system, you are safe here. You can stop now. And here is what nobody expects. That calm doesn't stay in the house. It follows them everywhere. The identity shift. Have you ever noticed that some people just seem to follow through? They say they'll start. They start. They say they'll finish. It's finished. And you're left wondering what they have that you don't. Here's one thing researchers found that almost no one expects. People who make their bed every morning are 19% more likely to report getting a good night's sleep. Not because making the bed causes better sleep, but because making the bed is a vote, the very first act of the day. A small declaration. We do what we say here. We set a standard, and we keep it. And that vote cast every morning before the day has even begun trains the brain to follow through in other areas too. Psychologists call it the self-control spillover effect. Order in one area quietly reinforces order in others. Every cleared counter is a sentence in a story. Every made bed is a paragraph. And the story read by your own brain every single morning says, this is the kind of person I am. And slowly, quietly, without any dramatic change, you start becoming it. But here's where it gets complicated. Because not every clean house comes from the same place. And the difference matters more than most people realize. Quick pause. If this is hitting different, please subscribe right now. We make videos like this every week. Psychology that explains the things you've felt but never had words for. Means everything. Okay, back to it. The dangerous side of clean. Some people clean because it brings them peace. The way a long walk brings peace. The way a quiet morning brings peace. Restorative. Chosen. Grounding. Then there are people who clean because the anxiety of not cleaning is louder than the desire to rest. The dish must be washed before they sit down. The cushion must be straight before they can relax. The counter must be clear before they can eat. Not because they want to, because their brain won't let them stop until it is. From the outside, both people look the same. The house is clean, but the internal experience? Completely different. One is a habit that supports the person. The other is a habit the person is trapped inside. Psychology draws a clear line between these two things. Healthy cleaning says, "This makes me feel better." Anxiety-driven cleaning says, "Not doing this makes me feel terrible." One is a choice. The other is a demand. And the only way to know which one is driving you is to be honest enough to ask, am I cleaning to feel good, or am I cleaning to avoid feeling bad? And here is something that ties all of it together. Something that explains why the state of your home affects so much more than just your home. The invisible decisions your home makes. Your home is not passive. It is a system. And systems have outputs. A cluttered bedroom produces worse sleep. A messy desk produces slower thinking. A dirty kitchen produces worse food choices. Not always. Not for everyone, but consistently enough that researchers kept finding the same patterns across thousands of people. Your environment is not the background of your life. It is an active character. People who keep their homes clean are designing tomorrow's decisions today. Every object in your home is asking your brain a question. They've already answered most of those questions. Why your bedroom changes your sleep. Imagine lying in bed tonight, eyes closed, trying to wind down. But somewhere in the back of your mind, you know the dishes are in the sink. The bag is still where you dropped it 3 days ago. The laundry is in a pile in the corner. You're not looking at it, but your brain knows it's there, and it stays just awake enough to hold the list. Research from the National Sleep Foundation found that people who make their bed every morning are significantly more likely to describe themselves as good sleepers. And people who describe their bedroom as cluttered reported more trouble falling asleep and staying asleep. Because your brain doesn't fully rest in a space, it reads as unfinished. It holds a low level of alertness, just enough to keep the list running. People who keep their bedroom clean are giving their brain a very specific permission. The day is over. Everything is handled. You can let go now. That permission given consistently is worth more than almost any sleep supplement on the market. The story your home tells about you. Here's the question underneath all of this. Why does walking into a clean room feel like a fresh start? Why do people reorganize their home when their life feels out of control? Why does cleaning the house before starting a big project feel necessary? It's not about the room. It's about the reflection. Your home shows you who you are every single morning. Before anyone else has said a word to you, before the world has had a chance to tell you what to think about yourself, your home speaks first. Walk into a clean, ordered, intentional space, and it says, you are someone who takes care of things. You finish what you start. You have some control here. Walk into disorder, and it says something different. And your brain, which is always looking for evidence of who you are, believes whatever it sees. Psychologists call this environmental identity cueing. Your surroundings reinforce beliefs about yourself before you've consciously formed them, which means your home isn't just a reflection of your life. It is quietly shaping it every day. The transformation. So here is what this was actually about. It was never really about cleaning. It was about what a clean space does to a person's brain, their stress, their decisions, their follow-through, their sleep, their sense of who they are. A clean house is not a personality. It is not obsessive. It is not about impressing anyone. For the people who do it consistently, it is a quiet act of self-respect, a daily vote for the version of themselves they want to become. And here is the thing about votes. They compound. One clean counter doesn't change your life, but 1,000 mornings of clearing the counter, of making the bed, of finishing the small thing. Those votes add up to an identity. And one day, without any single dramatic moment, you realize you have become someone who follows through, someone who takes care of things, someone whose home tells a story they're proud of. So tonight, when you walk through your door, listen to what your home is saying and ask yourself, is this the story I want it to be telling? Because you can change it anytime, one surface at a time. Drop a comment below, clean house or organized chaos. I read every single one. And if this video explains something you've felt but never been able to name, share it with someone whose home has a story. Subscribe to Stickology World for more psychology that changes how you see yourself. And check out our playlist on mental strength, behavior, and the hidden patterns behind how people think link below. I'll see you in the next one. Here at Stickology World, life makes more sense in stick figure.